Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my Lady Boss YouTube channel. So first and foremost, I wanted to say Happy New Year. It is so crazy. We're already in 2020, the new decade, and I hope everybody is just as excited as I am because pretty much this video is going to be tailored all about how to slay 2020. Because I think once you start, planning your goals and having kind of like an outline of all the things that you want to accomplish throughout the year, I feel like it's so important to be able to create a plan to implement it so you can accomplish it by the end of this year. So that's what this video is going to be all about. But before we do get started, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do post videos every single Thursday, and I will link my Instagram handle down below as well too, so you can follow me on social media. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the tips on how to slay 2020. My tip number one is everything is a product of consistency. So back then when people used to say, oh, you can fake it till you make it. No, you cannot fake it until you make it. You have to face it until you make it, because you have to do the work. You have to get up, do the work, show up. Even if you do fail, just get up and keep going and keep pushing and keep making those moves towards those goals and what you want to accomplish. Because I know everything in life, will have its ups and downs, but it's the fact that if you keep pushing through it and if you still stay consistent even through the hard times, and even when you're at the ultimate high and you feel like, okay, I'm at that point where I can, kind of calm down, chill out a little bit. No, just keep going. That consistency will end up building you so much more, and you'll get so many more results from it. So just always keep that in mind when you're, making these goals for yourself, that you need to be able to set yourself up in a way where you know that if you set a goal, you need to know kind of the steps and ways to get there. Because if you kind of don't have a pathway for yourself, or you don't really have it planned out or broken down into, little smaller steps on how to accomplish this goal, you can kind of get lost and just really distracted and not really focused on that one end goal. So that's why it'll help you focus, but then at the same time, it'll help a lot with that consistency when you have that pathway and you're able to keep on that track. Because I don't care how hard it is, I do not care what other people say. Nothing is based off of luck, and it all is based on people's hard work and consistency for them to be able to achieve their greatest accomplishments in life. My tip number two is, even if you have money, act like you're broke. So wherever you are within your life financially, just keep in mind that even if you do have some type of money to be able to spend, still act like you don't have that money. Because this is where I'll kind of give you like a little example. So, someone who's living paycheck to paycheck, obviously they don't have a lot of extra money to spend on the side. So say, for example, on the other side of the spectrum, this person who is financially stable and has the money, keep in mind they will also be spending a lot of money. So when people like this who have the money, who can spend the money, you also have to keep in mind that this person probably has other financial things to pay off or pay for as well too. So for example, this person might have credit card bills to pay, they might have student loans to pay, they might have a lot of other things and bills that they might need to also take into consideration, because that is why they also have a better job to be able to pay off all those things. So kind of keep that in mind, because the person who does have their life a little bit more together financially can still pretty much be in that same boat as a person who is broke. I'm not saying that for every single case and scenario, but if you really think about it, because that's why I think this concept and being able to grasp this concept that if you do have money, still act like you're broke, because that'll help you with your savings goals and help you really, really hone in on financial stability. That's why I think this one concept is really good to keep in the forefront of your mind, because whether you have the money or not, just always act like you're broke at the end of the day, because that will help you kind of stay humble. It'll keep you very, on top of your saving goals, and just really help you know the value of money. My third tip is, your breakdowns can create your breakthroughs. So as everybody knows, life can be such a whirlwind. It can have its high highs, it can have its low lows, and you can just be pretty much up and down at any point in time throughout your life. And that is where you learn the most about yourself, is when you hit rock bottom. And when you do encounter those hardships, it really builds that foundation of who you are as a person and how much you can actually make a breakthrough from it. There's going to be so many different lessons when these hardships actually hit, and when you actually are able to, overcome them, or when you find those solutions to the problem. And all of those will help build and make a really good foundation for yourself and make us that strong individual that all of us can be. And without that, we would not be who we are today. Just keep that in mind, because if you didn't struggle and if you just lived this ridiculous, perfect life, I don't think any of us would ever be happy, to be honest, because life is all about learning and the process and just being able to pick yourself up when you've hit certain lows and just being able to learn from it as a person. Because I feel like when I see people who are really happy with their lives, they didn't have a perfect life. They knew how to learn from their mistakes, learn from certain situations, learn from certain obstacles, and be able to overcome those, learn from them, and move on to the fact that they were able to get to that happy point because they went through all those hardships and struggles. My fourth tip is to be in complementing relationships. So whether it's a relationship with, your friends, your coworkers, or, a significant other, I think you should be around people and to build those relationships that are very complementary to you and who you are as a person for the goals and standards that you have for yourself. So in a relationship with a significant other, you guys should be able to complement each other in a way where you can work together, work as a team, build each other up. So it's just being able to have a partner in life, and that's where you find a lot of successful relationships, and that's where you see a lot of happy couples when they do find that person who they do mesh with, and they actually treat the relationship as an equal and as a team together. And so the next thing, when it comes to your coworkers and your work-life environment, if you think about it, your work life takes up a significant chunk of your life. So you really need to think about that as well too, because you're spending so much of your time. So what you're doing as a career and what your work environment is like really needs to complement you and your personality and your goals and who you truly are as a person. Because you want to be around people in a working environment, where they're motivated, where they're super pumped up, where they want to hit, their company's quotas and, just reach their company goals and have a vision for themselves. And then lastly is your friend circle. So your friends play a huge part in how and who you are today. So pretty much, your friends don't necessarily have to be exactly like you, they don't have to have the same goals as you, but pretty much you should still surround yourself with people who have very similar goals and standards as you do, because that is kind of like the last part of the trifecta, where pretty much those are another group of people who you do hang out with probably a significant amount of your time. And so if they are people who don't have things that you are looking for or that you want to become down the line in the future, and how you set up your successes or anything like that, maybe it's time to reconsider who you start to hang out with. So to wrap that whole entire trifecta together, you always want to have those complementary relationships with your significant other, your work environment, and the group of friends that you do spend a lot of time with. My last and final tip is you are responsible for your happiness. So no more pity party, no more pity me this, pity me that, no more excuses of why you are unhappy or why you can't be in a happier position or state of mind or whatever it is, because 2020 is going to be your year to really hone in on it and really create that happiness for your life. And this is a great time to actually start that and implement it into your life, because at the end of the day, no matter what happens to you, you need to know that you can only control how you act and how you feel as a person. Just keep in mind too that, everybody knows life is so short, and everybody says that all the time. You hear it from everybody pretty much that says life is so short, live life to the fullest, blah, 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 blah. But not that many people do. And so that's why this year, maybe make it a priority and, maybe write it on your goal board or something that you want to truly and honestly be so happy as an individual. That is just going to fuel you and push you and to live a more fulfilling life, So that is where you are the driver of your own happiness. And to achieve that, you definitely need to start working on things that are going to be more fulfilling to you as a person so you can live a happier lifestyle. Alright, so I'm going to close out this video. I hope that you enjoyed the 5 tips that I've shared with you on how to slay 2020. I hope that it gave you some ideas. I hope you're able to implement them into your lives. And pretty much I just want everybody to have such an amazing new year, new decade, and all of that combined because of the fact that everybody in this world deserves it. Trust me. Like, I know that things may be tough. I know that, setting your goals and having those standards for yourself isn't going to be the easiest to get there, but trust me, I feel like everybody has that potential as long as you keep your head up and just keep pushing forward, because I want this year to be something that people can really just kill it and just build your own empire this year. So I do appreciate you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next week's video. Thanks so much. Bye guys.